7 o'clock, and I'll call the meeting of the Grafton Cable Access Committee to order. As we have to go through as a preliminary matter, this is a cable committee meeting, and we will confirm that all members and persons anticipated in the agenda are present and can hear me. So when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Thank you. Bob Berger.
I can hear you. Aye.
Bob DeToma.
Aye.
Jim Gallagher is aye. Bob Hassinger.
Aye.
Jack Kelly.
Present.
Lisa Kelly.
Present.
And a welcome to you, Lisa. Corson Wyman. Corson Wyman. Ferris Bueller. Okay, no Corson Wyman again. Speakers on the agenda will respond in the affirmative anytime that you're speaking and so forth. The open meeting of the Cable Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings. The order, which you can find posted to the town's website and all other public bodies, is there to be found. We are convening by conference Zoom, and as posted on the town's website, identifying how the public may join. Please note that this meeting is being recorded and that some attendees may be participating or are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you, and take care not to screen share your computer. Anything you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials have been provided by the members of the body and are available on the town's website. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I note otherwise. We are turning to the first item on the agenda, but before we do so, permit me to cover some of the ground rules. I will, as chair, will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, the chair will go down the line of members, inviting each name to provide any comment, question, or motions. Please remember to mute your phone or computer when you're not speaking, and remember to speak clearly in a way that can generate active minutes. If members wish to engage in I can't say that word, colloquy with other members, please do so through me at the chair, and take care to identify yourselves. For items with public comment, after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment, and the procedure is as set forth in the on the town website. Bob DeToma will assist in the identification of any public comment, as I can only see a few of the parties at a time, and Bob will advise if anyone has raised their hand requesting recognition. So having said that, before we get into the regular agenda, just in case you haven't seen, we've just recently received an update from Cindy Ide that the town of Grafton is now a red area and the municipal buildings are closed. I presume that will include the cable studios. Is that how you understand it, Mr. DeToma?
We weren't given any direct orders to shut down the TV studio. As I'm the one that occupies the building the majority of the time, I'm here programming and running the systems. So I don't normally have to go home to be safe. And
Okay.
Speaking with the staff this evening, we're going to go back to what we did at the beginning of the COVID crisis, where we will separate ourselves. In other words, I'll leave a few minutes early. They'll come in a few minutes later so that we don't cross paths. And on the odd chance that we are in the building at the same time, we're going to wear masks. So we're good.
All right, Mr. Berger.
I did speak to Cindy this evening after I received that. What that memo means is they're closed to the public. Employees are still working in the senior center. And Bob DeToma, when you are in an office space, which you know, where you're sharing with somebody, we have a directive to wear face coverings. So I just wanted to clear that up. Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. I was reluctant to mention that our counsel, Mr. August, has joined us. Welcome.
Thank you. Good.
You're welcome. So let me ask if there is any public comment. Seeing none, hearing none.
One thing, I thought we were going to do minutes tonight, but I guess we aren't.
Well, I think we will, Bob. I
Well,
was going to do.
but I just wanted to say I noticed that the website hasn't been updated with what we did at the last meeting as far as the organization.
All right, what I wanted to let you know, and there's a few comments that I'm going to use my privilege and make as we go along, but we found out that the minutes were provided for a town council, town clerk rather, and the website basically is not up to date, is the bottom line. And well, let's just do that now. Having a look at the meeting, the minutes rather, from, wait a minute, I keep falling down. The minutes from the September 23rd meeting, we do want to make a correction that on the reorganization, that the vote for chair, Bob Hassinger voted present. So if you could change the I to present, I believe. That was the only comment I had. Did anyone else have any comments on the minutes? I don't see any hands. Okay. Is there a motion on the floor on the minutes?
I make a motion that we accept the minutes for our meeting of September 23rd, 2020.
Thank you.
Second,
And I didn't get who got the second. Did you, Bob?
Wahlberger did.
Okay. So the vote is on the meeting minutes. Bob Berger,
Aye.
Bob DeToma. You're muted, Bob. Now you're muted again.
Detoma, aye.
Aye. And this is, by the way, this is the minutes as amended. Jim Gallagher is aye. Bob Hassinger,
Aye.
Jack Kelly,
Aye.
Linda Kelly,
Lisa Kelly, aye.
Lisa Kelly, right. I knew that. I don't even know anyone named Linda Kelly. And Corson Wyman is still not here. Right. Now, what I would like to do, the way I see handling this, the contract thing is what I thought we would do is I'd like to take a motion. I'd like to take a motion to accept the contract, and then under discussion, let's get everybody's comments and make sure we're all on the same page before we go and have a vote.
Mr. Chair, may I just say, we're not, we're making a motion to recommend approval of the new contract.
You are right, as always, Mr. Berger.
Mhm.
Thank you. So if anyone would like to make a correct motion, that'd be great.
Is your question, point of order? Is the intent of the words recommend approval, recommending the approval by the Board of Selectmen?
Well, actually, my understanding is that the committee has to move it along through this committee before it gets to the Board of Selectmen, the Select Board.
But that could be all one motion to,
I agree. That was a good motion.
Okay, so somebody make a motion.
Bill, why don't you say what you want and I'll say
Okay.
so move.
okay, that the contract be recommended by the committee to the Board of Selectmen for their final approval and execution.
So
All right,
move.
so that's the motion moved by Mr. Berger. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, thank you. As I said,
want to amend it
Yep.
to say select board.
Select board, right.
I
I'll never get it right. I'm still calling Lisa Kelly Linda.
wrote down-
Before I ask for comments, I just wanted to point out the remarks that I had made in the note about this meeting and everything. The most significant comment that I personally heard from Bill was that no other town has a license from charter that has as many benefits as have been negotiated in this contract. And I think that just speaks volumes as far as I'm concerned. So let me ask, are there any, does anyone want to make a comment during discussion? This may be a very short meeting. All right, hearing none. We'll have a
Can I
roll
just
call.
add a footnote to that description of my statement? This is the best charter renewal contract that I have seen since the Spectrum took over. This is the best under the new company. I'm not saying that pre-Spectrum, pre-merger, I have not compared it to each and every charter license in the United States to the pre-merger. The reason why I was emphasizing that it's so great relative to the other renewal licenses from charter is I did look at about 20 of them from all different states because I was, and now we have better language than those. And actually 18 out of 20 of them had zero capital funding. They had annual funding only, no capital funding under this new Spectrum. 2 had some capital funding and they were less than Grafton. So you are, relative to the new company, Spectrum, it's different than the old company. I would, right, based on my diligent research, we canvassed about 20 licenses. You're apparently the strongest, but I have to qualify that so no one can come back and say, oh, well, you missed this one up in Alaska, or this one came out 2 weeks ago. You're way up there, but it's, you know, I just have to cover myself so I'm not factually or technically incorrect about, you know.
Thank you.
Okay.
The only one who would say something like that would be Linda Kelly, and she's not even on the board. So,
So I
thanks for
really
that.
say from the heart, you guys are in good shape with this document. I feel great about it. I just don't want to see making, you know, a hyperbolic statement that someone could punch a little hole in somewhere. Okay.
Okay, thank you very much. This is a roll call.
Bob wants to,
Oh, wait a minute.
Mr. Haskell wants to speak.
Oh, I was looking right at him. I didn't see a hand raised. I'm sorry. There it is. Bob.
In and out. See that? I just remind me, how many years is this one for? Bill?
10.
It is 10.
Yeah. Verizon's only 5. So right there, you have a lot more security under this one than under Verizon. I mean, I'm of the school that in the old days, we used to think, oh, great, some shorter license, you'll get another bite at the apple. Nowadays, you know, we don't even know if there will be an apple. But every time these licenses expire, the companies are worse and worse this time. So it's good to stretch it out and lock it in.
Yeah.
Okay. Was that it, Bob?
Yeah, well, I didn't like the 5-year at all, or the short ones.
Yeah.
The 3-year that we once had, remember, Bill?
Yeah, Verizon. Now, yeah, we once did a short one. Remember with Greater Media because they refused to do an upgrade.
All right. So
Yeah.
let's get back and look at our roll call. So the motion essentially, as it was, as Bob Detoma has it, is for us to pass on this, pass along to the select board our affinity for the contract. So
Right.
Bob Berg,
It does. You know, subject to adding like 2 house cleaning things. The table of contents is missing. We have an email out to Charter to get the table of contents. Let them do it. And then we have an email that, like an exhibit that's purely just informational. It's supposed to be a list of the current PEG channels. I mean, I could do that, but in the last 2 months, and it's made a big difference, I've told Charter they have to provide the document so that when it circulates within the company, they don't think it's Bill August's document and look all over it. I want it to come out of John. So we're waiting for 2 clerical things, a table of contents,
Yeah.
and 2 informational, a sample performance bond and the list of the current channels.
Okay, thank you. So roll call vote, Bob Berger,
Bob Berger, aye.
Bob DeToma,
Bob DeToma, aye.
Jim Gallagher is aye. Bob Hassinger,
Aye.
Jack Kelly,
Aye.
Lisa Kelly.
Aye.
All right, this is passed unanimously. So thank you very much for all of the fine work, young Mr. August. We appreciate it. And you can, if you'd like, you can go and stream on HBO Max.
All right. Well,
Bill,
and
thank you.
my deep gratitude to all of you, as you know, and I've said, in this go round, I work closely with Robert Berger and Bob DeToma, and at every single turn, they would follow up and try to get me what I needed and provide. And needless to say, Bob Hassinger, was practically like a mentor and to everyone in getting us to upgrade these licenses for a super long time. So I'm always feel close bonds and gratitude to Bob Hassinger. We were through a lot, and it upgraded a lot of these licenses. So thank you, folks. See you later.
Bill, thank you. It was
Well
a
said.
pleasure working with
Well
you.
said.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Before Bill goes, may I?
You may.
Bill, the 2 missing items, the table of contents and the missing exhibit.
Yep.
So when this meeting concludes, the town is going to have to put the ball in motion for the public hearing part of this process.
Yep. There's a public hearing notice that Joanne is about to post.
Correct. So my question is are these 2 missing items going to affect anything?
No.
Okay.
And that's on the top of my list to bug John Marr tomorrow. I gave him a little breathing room. I haven't heard back from him about that reminds me.
Oh, great.
I'm glad you asked about the procedure, Bob DeToma, because there's a regulation that actually says that now, as of when you do the newspaper notice, there should be a copy in the clerk's office. It's called the public cable file. And because the advertisement has a little line at the end of the legal ad saying the renewal document is available for public inspection. So usually no one comes and inspects it, but you have to have a public cable file in the clerk's office with your most recent document, and then we'll add the table of contents, the others when it comes in. And that's a
Excellent.
healthy thing to do. So no one can show up at the hearing and say, oh, what are you voting? And we never even had a chance to see the document. So it covers our butts by having it in that public inspection file.
Okay, before you go away, Bill, I think Bob has something else. Bob
Well,
Hassinger.
Yeah, on that, we just heard that the municipal center is closed. There is presumably little or no access whatsoever to the clerk's office. Couldn't that be mitigated by being sure that the document is available online at the town?
Yeah, with our minutes, Bob.
Hmm? Well,
Right,
and our current organization, Jim.
right.
Right.
But with information where you can, where people would find it, saying how to get to the website, the document on the website.
Okay, Bob DeToma.
I know I'm stepping on Mr. Berger here, but just to touch on some of these topics that Mr. Hassinger raised earlier. The website for the town clerk didn't reflect the change, or the Grafton Community Television page? Which one were you referring to? When reorganized?
The the main town website where you go to committees.
Okay, I think I'll have to talk to Paul
Yeah.
Cook, because I don't know if he was trained on the use of the website. I think that was exclusively a task performed by Candy. I can go and find out about that, which would also touch back to an earlier question you raised about the meeting minutes. They were turned in. There's a folder that contains all the meeting minutes, and I think that was also an issue. Getting things into that virtual town hall webpage, I think, is where the kind of the logjam was created. So I can go up and investigate and find out about that. And
All right, should I sign off now? You guys?
No.
Oh, okay.
We haven't taken the
hold on,
vote,
hold on.
or have we? Yes. We did take the vote. Now, Bob, when you're doing that, try to sort out the May 21st. The website shows that we had a meeting posted, and I found a link to an agenda that had nothing in it. And there aren't any minutes for it. So, it's embarrassing for us to, if somebody goes to the website, they'll criticize us, our minutes are not up to date.
I discussed that with Paul Cook recently, and
Yeah.
I created a document telling him the months during COVID that we didn't have a meeting at the chairman's discretion. So he asked for whenever a committee posts an agenda and then for some reason doesn't have a meeting, whether it's for lack of a quorum or for emergency purposes, we send a follow-up document saying the meeting never took place. So that's already taken place. But again, I don't know how quickly that'll get updated on the webpage. So
I assume you got it, but I'm sure that he knows about the May, whatever it was that happened with May 20.
yep, he raised the question, so it has been discussed. So we will work on it.
All right, Lisa.
What happened to Bob?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that this is not the only committee whose minutes are behind, and I can assure you, working at the senior center and in the building, that Paul is now alone because the volunteers and the helpers for the election are gone. So he's doing the best he can. So it's probably still going to be a little while, but it'll happen, and we're not alone.
Thank you. Mr. Berger.
Okay, Bill, so we don't have a spot to put that in the clerk's office because, like we said before, I was rudely cut off by Bob DeTolma.
We got too many Bobs in this damn
I know.
committee.
The town hall is closed to public. So how many pages is this document?
Hold on a second. It is,
Here, count them as they go by.
it's about 40, 35 pages.
All right. So I don't want to be in violation. What do you think we should do with opening this up to the public?
Well, I think that you should have a paper trail, an email trail that you forwarded it to the clerk, requesting that they create a public file for it. So then at least it's in her court or his court as clerk to create some kind of public file. And maybe people can't be physically present to access it,
But they can
but
call.
they might call, they might email,
Okay.
and otherwise try to contact the clerk, and then the clerk will just get creative and send it over to them. But that
Okay.
way, it's in their court, say, here it is for the public, create a
Okay.
public.
That's all I wanted to ask. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you. Can we let, I just did it again. Wait a minute.
Can we let Bill go?
Can we let Bill go?
Good.
Wait
I had a
minute.
long week. Good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Bill, thank you again. It was a pleasure working with you.
Okay, guys. You guys are the best. Take care.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Bye.
I'm doing this on my phone, and it's on 2 pages, and every time I go to the other page, I shut it off. So very good. So let's moving along. That was really the big thing. Not that Bob Berger's treasurer's report isn't a big thing, but you're on, Bob. Berger.
All right. You guys are gonna have to help me out here. I'm gonna share a screen and I'm not good with this. Well,
Yeah, I'll give you
host-
all the help you need.
Well, so who's the host here? Is it you, Bob?
Yeah, I think so.
So can you give me, can you enable participation screen sharing? Either that or everybody come over to my house. No, we're not gonna do that.
For Hanukkah.
For Hanukkah, we're gonna make potato luckies.
All right.
You sure you can't already share your screen, Bob?
Try
No,
it. Try
I
it.
can now. Okay,
Try
here we
it now.
go. I want
You good?
this one. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Robert Berger.
You see the screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, because the funny thing is, I don't see it. I
Go
don't
over
know
to
how
my
to,
house.
I really don't know how to do this good. Okay, so let's just go through. This is our budget that I'm proposing for FY22. All right. And you see my mouse over here, Charter and Verizon FY 2020 payments. Is that the screen you're seeing?
Yes.
Okay, good. Who said no? Nobody. All right. So we have brought in, I wanted a full calendar year to give you guys how I'm doing this. We brought in $359,657.27. That's what we brought in. Over on this side, you have energy and non-energy, and this is what we are anticipating on spending. So Comtract, we give them $7,000 a year just to maintain the F-man around town. But this year we got hit with an $8,000 bill of, they went around town and said, we have to fix the F-man in 15 poles and bring up some slack and so on and so forth. That's another big chunk of money. So I don't want to get hit like that again. So instead of 7,000, I put 15,000 to give us some preventive maintenance that's going to happen every year. To heat the building with the gas is $3,000. Electric is $5,000. The bond payment I put is $127,000. Rent on the building, we've got $15,000. Nobody's really ever asked to collect it, so I don't know what we're doing with that. We'll just leave it in there as a spot. And then sewer's $500. We just keep on going to personal services. This is what it cost our guys to operate in the studio. Then we go down to bill, and this is Tightrope, American Alarm, Enterprise Cleaning, goes on and so forth. And here's the total of what we're anticipating on spending for the up and coming year. And then down here is supplies, and for some reason I put this number of $38,000. And if we don't use it, that's great. If we do use it, we've got a category that we can use it from. So with all that being tallied up, we really spend $313,000. We're going to request $335,000 in town meeting under an article. So what that means is, for some reason, if we spend more than $335,000 and we realize it's not going to take us till the end of the fiscal year, we can now go back up in a special meeting and ask for more money. And we always have to tell the audience that this is not taxpayer money. This is money that's already in our fund or in our account. All right, everybody, anybody have any questions on that?
I have a question. Is it supposed to
Wait
say?
a minute. Mr. Chair, you have two hands up. Do you want me to?
Okay, not you're the only one I'm seeing, so let me know.
Okay.
That's,
So I'm gonna take Bob H because his hand was up first. All right.
okay, thank you.
Go ahead, Bob.
Is this a couple of things. Is this the vote you're talking about is how much of our money we're allowed to use? You know, there's the town meeting has to vote to authorize the spending of the money that we have.
Yes, I have a draft article I'll show you after this.
Okay.
What was the second question, Bob?
About, like I suggested, we might be wanting to look at some equipment. And I'm not clear whether what you've got here is enough to cover any new equipment.
Well,
Well,
can we just, let's just, if I could just interrupt you, Bob Berger, for a second. I was going to talk about some of the other things that you had mentioned to me, Bob Hassinger.
Yeah,
And what I've done, I did a little research. And what I found out is that on the new Macs, that there was, because of where we are and so forth, that there really was no rush on the new Macs, and that the closed captioning issue that you had brought up, we have that on Charter, and we're checking on Verizon now. And the long rendering time, well, that doesn't really have, but the long rendering time on the Zoom, that was resolved. So did you have any other equipment
well,
concerns other than those, Bob Hassinger?
the reason I wanted to bring up the computer was I've heard that we have, it takes a long time to render out the program to put up on the web. And I'm not sure whether we even do that on a Mac or on a PC. If we do it on a Mac, this would be a really cheap way to help that in the near term. On the closed captioning, I don't know what you mean when you say we have that. Everything that there's, the system can carry closed captioning to the customer, and then there's someone somehow getting the words that are being said into closed captions. And nobody, I've heard that YouTube has something that can do that, or videos that are up there. I haven't seen any that, and I really wonder, because that's got to be an automated thing. And what I've seen is,
If that were an issue, Bob, what would we be talking for cost? Do you know?
I have no idea. And that's why I wanted us to talk a little bit about it and find out, start to look into it, because I think it keeps coming up. And I'm pretty sure it's not cheap.
All right. Well, I had that as a note that we were going to get into greater depth on that in our next meeting. And
Yeah.
just by from what you're saying here, it sounds like there's something we have to talk about. So we wouldn't have it ready for the budget anyway for this year. But
Well, does Bob have, what is $38,000 for supplies? By
$38,000 is a number that you can use for cameras, tripods.
I understand. Do you have anything?
No. No.
Okay.
No.
Because the computer I'm talking about costs $1,000.
Yeah. That would come out of that $38,000.
all right. Well, I think we can come back to that. So are you good, Bob? Can I go to Jack?
Sure.
Jack?
Should it say that I'm making $15,000 or 1,500?
Cost savings.
That
Yeah.
doesn't look right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I'm the new guy, but
I was
that
wondering about that.
yeah,
He has to pay Linda the rent.
that is true.
There you go. I missed a 2. I mean a 6. That's
No.
what you make. That's what you're going to make right there.
That's more like it.
Now, does that change?
Save that. Hold on. Let's save that.
Now you
What is that, Bob?
Does that change the total numbers?
Of course it does.
But it'll automatically adjust because it's spreadsheet.
Yeah, but we're requesting 335. Now we're up to 331.
What was it before? Well, never mind.
316 maybe.
Okay.
But that probably happened after I put in the request.
All right. Are there any other questions on the budget? And
Yeah, Lisa's got one. I got it, Bob. Go ahead, Lisa.
Yeah. So I just asked Bob to tell me this. So I remember from my FinCom days, this money doesn't come from the town budget, right?
No, and you'll see that in a minute when I pull up the article.
Okay. So where does it come from?
Comes from your 5%. Hold on. Are we done with this? Are we done with this spreadsheet? Any other questions? No? Good. Okay, now here's the article. I have to share another screen. Give me a minute. I think this is it. Can you guys see this now? Do you see?
Yep.
Okay. So this is what the article is going to say, Lisa, if you can see that.
Yep.
And the
thank you.
second paragraph is what you just asked. In May 2016, town meeting accepted Massachusetts General Law, Chapter 44, Section 53F and 3/4, which established a special revenue fund known as PEG, Public Educational and Government Access and Cable. And then the last sentence, requiring no taxpayer money.
Okay, great.
Of course,
Thank you.
once we read this, somebody's gonna, walk up to the microphone and say, well, this is coming out of my taxpayers' money.
I remember.
Every time.
Okay, so this is the draft article. I'm gonna go in front of FinCom and I'll, talk about it all over again. I give it to them to look at, and then they can adopt it, because there's another one there that talks about that they approve it, or they approve of passage of the article. I didn't want to give that to FinCom, because then I'm giving them something maybe we don't want to pass it. Okay.
I think they recommend it.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Bob. Okay, we're done with that now.
Thank you.
Lisa. Well, did Lisa get her answer?
She did. Lisa
did.
did get her answer.
Yes.
Well, the cable companies give us 5% of cable-related revenue, and also, as Bill alluded to, we get some capital money along at certain points in these contracts.
Yeah.
Addition, a lump sum to help buy stuff.
Yeah, but I'm not going to start talking about all that at town
but-
meeting, because I'm just going to confuse everybody.
No, but Lisa wanted to be sure that we're not spending.
Yep.
Where's the money coming from? And I think we're all set.
Okay, now does everybody still see this new screen I have now?
Yeah.
Yep, with the
Okay.
American alarm and CD.
Yeah, so this is how I start the budget. I start breaking everything down into categories. And then from there, I work it into the other spreadsheet. So, Bill cost us $15,000 in 2020, but we already knew that was going to happen, because I budgeted for that kind of money, because this year was the year that we were renegotiating. We're not going to spend $15,000 next year, because Bill's done as soon as they sign, and we'll see him in 5 years and then back again in 10 years. That's it. That's really the big report that I have for you guys. Oh, there's another thing here. Hold on. We built the building and it cost us $1.1 million. We bonded $600,000 and we paid $500,000 out of our 29 account. We had a little bit of confusion with Andy Duchesne, which he did a great job for us, but at the beginning he misallocated some of the bills, which it was very confusing, because we paid for some and then others came out of the bond account. At the end of the day, we had $79,000 left over in the bond account. And the only way that we can use that $79,000 to do something with cable related, and what I want to do is I want to pay down this year's bond with this $79,000. We have to go into town meeting and we have to reallocate this 30 account in the amount of $79,000 to pay some of the principal or interest of the bond account. I try to do that on this town meeting. But Carter, this was in Becca's office and in Tim's office, and Becca never put it on town meeting before she got a new job and went to another municipality. So this didn't make it, and I caught it before we had town meeting, but Carter said, no, we're not going to put it on. You'll have to wait till your next meeting. So in our budget, I have this document so it won't get overlooked because, you know, fine, we have money in the account, but I don't want $79,000 sitting in this 30 account doing nothing. And what do we have in the bank right now? I really can't tell you because I have a hard time with no accountant that sits in that chair, but we probably have between $300,000 and $400,000 sitting in the account, maybe 500 right now sitting in that account. Our next meeting, I'll give you a harder number. It's just being difficult when I have nobody to lean on to say, give me a report that I can take to the meeting. And Mr. Chair, that's my report to you and the committee.
Okay, so let me ask, does anyone else have any questions for young Mr. Berger?
I do.
Bob.
I'm sorry, who said I do? Bob Passenger, go ahead.
Bob, I'm curious how the bonds work if you pay ahead. There are different schemes, and I have no idea how.
Bob, let me just interrupt you. I didn't mean like pay off early principal. I mean, we owe them $127,000 or $130,000 this year. We pay that at the end of the year. I want to take this $79,000 and some of our money that equals the bond payment and pay the bond. We owe them $130,000 a year. So instead of us taking that entire $130,000 out of our revolving account, well, let's take, you know, whatever the difference is of the 79 in the revolving to meet the $130,000. Bob doesn't care. He must not pay the bill. I don't have the checkbook.
Okay.
Okay, he's good. So let me ask, is there a motion on the floor to accept the treasurer's report?
I make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report.
Is there a second?
Second.
We don't need to accept it.
Yeah,
Don't-
let him.
Well, I thought because it's going to the,
Well,
because it's going for approval to the town. Don't we need a vote on that? No?
we certainly want to vote on the articles that'll be going forward, but we don't approve his report. We hear his report.
Okay, then let me understand. Did you just present a warrant article, Bob Berger?
I did, and I also presented FY22's budget. I think I should make a motion that we accept the FY22 budget as presented by Robert Berger.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, the Kellys get the seconds. Any
Is
other
that Linda
comment
or
on
Lisa?
that? Any other discussion? Okay, hearing none. Bob Berger,
Aye.
Bob DeToma.
DeToma, aye.
I'm sorry, Bob Berger was aye, Bob DeToma is aye, Jim Gallagher is aye, Bob Passenger?
Aye.
Bob Passenger is aye, Jack Kelly?
Aye.
Jack Kelly is aye, Lisa Kelly?
Aye.
Lisa Kelly is aye. Determined that it's carried unanimously. Thank you very much. The next agenda item is the next meeting to be determined. The third Monday in January is Martin Luther King Day, so we're back on the holiday again. So can we arrive at a date? That would be a good idea. Bob DeToma.
We are going to find it difficult to schedule meetings based on the availability of the Zoom account. So I think that we should agree to have a meeting in January, but not necessarily say what day it's going to be because there's no guarantee you'll get that opportunity in Zoom.
Bob, let me interrupt you for a second. I have a personal Zoom account.
Okay, there we go. So I guess our problem solved.
All right, so
Okay,
then I go back. Do we want to go back to our regular schedule, or given the calamity that COVID has caused us, do we want to do as needed?
Mr. Chair, I'm also the past president of the Metro West Building Officials, which is a inspectors organization, which is a 501(c)(3), and we are not really holding meetings, and I'm finding it difficult to not hold the meetings. I think we should go back to every third Monday, even if we were just talking about what's going on in the studio, what are we doing with the pandemic, or the logistics of what can we do. So my suggestion is, I think, if we're going to meet by Zoom, it's really not that big of an inconvenience. I think we should stick to a schedule.
Okay. Any other comment on that?
I just want to say I agree with Berger. I think it's better to have a very short meeting once a month than to forget about it and not have meetings for months until we have one where everything piles up.
Okay. All right. I don't see anyone else waving. All right. So let me go back to the original question. What do you want to do for a date? January 18th is Martin Luther King Day.
Is that a holiday that precludes having a meeting?
Yeah, that's a federal holiday.
And why does that preclude us from having a meeting?
Because we're a public board and we can't hold a meeting on a national holiday.
It was said, I don't remember who said it, but someone said if the public can't be expected to be able to view it, then you should be able to have it. But that was like you're saying, when people would have to go into the building and to the audience.
Gentlemen and ladies, I think that conversation should not happen, because I think if we do have a meeting, it would be very disrespectful on that particular.
Okay, that's a different reason.
I understand, and that's why I said it.
A good one.
Okay. Bob DeToma.
So can we choose that Thursday of that same week and just do it then to get us through the month of January?
21st.
Thank you. Thank you. Does anyone have any conflicts that they know of on January 21st, 2021?
I don't think so. Thursdays are iffy for me, but because CMRPC has a lot of meetings on Thursdays, but that should be okay, I think.
It's my rabbit's birthday, so that could be a big deal.
Well, all right. Well, then we can just maybe we can have it right from the hutch. And, okay, so let's. I'll aim at January 21st. Items not reasonably anticipated, and I don't know. I have ambivalent feelings about bringing this up, but I can't remember the last time that we heard from Corson Wyman. And I stepped out a couple of times and sent him an email that wasn't responded to. And I'm curious as to whether or not he still has an interest and whether or not that should be an agenda item. Because, I mean, he has a wealth of information, but we just haven't seen him.
There was a message from somebody not too long ago asking about, are we having a meeting kind of thing? And I was thinking it was Corson. Could be wrong.
No, it was Corson.
Yeah, so he was interested. And I'm wondering if communications have broken down in some way, the email got messed up or something.
All right.
I'm looking currently at all the emails I've been sent for Zoom accounts, and he's listed in all of them.
Yeah, no, but just because he's listed doesn't mean he got it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't, the only thing I can add to that, Bob, is that none of them were bounced.
Well, I don't see bounces anymore. I don't know.
Oh, I do. Trust me. I screw them up.
I see certain kinds, but I can't be sure that what you need to do is we need to have some sort of a positive response from person. If not, you have to count missing 6 meetings in a row, then we can do something about it.
I don't really want to do anything about it. I just want to, see if he's, I mean, he just got reappointed. So, I mean, he must have accepted it and
Bob D has something to say.
I would be happy to try and,
Yep.
I would be happy to try and reach out to Corson and see if I get a response using the only email address that I currently have.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Let me see if I have a phone number for him. I don't think so.
You guys want me to go outside and just start yelling his name?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
I'm just wondering how come we don't have his phone number.
I do. I have a text phone trying to find it.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have a mobile and a home, which I probably put in there about 1,000 years ago.
Well, could you just send those over to Bob DeTolma and he can compare it to what he has? And maybe we can just find out, maybe it's as simple as for whatever reason, he wasn't getting my email and never let me know, and it didn't bounce, or maybe maybe he's pregnant.
Probably not.
No,
Yeah.
you're right there. Yeah. Okay.
I
Having
had
said
something
that,
I wanted to mention in this part. A lot
yes,
of
Jack.
a lot of this year and last year during our committee meetings, we spoke about the FCC pushing certain things that would put our funding in risk. And I wanted to bring up the fact that the FCC chairman is going to be leaving in January. So that may become a moot point soon.
Well, so you're sure then that Mr. Trump wasn't reelected then?
I think how many days are like, is it 30 days until we know that for sure? But he's
No,
got,
it's 41.
yeah.
Well, actually, next Monday, the Electoral College votes. So,
So he's Ajit Pai, I think is his name. He's going to resign the day after Inauguration Day. And hopefully after that point, this will
you'll
get
take it with him.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, Bob DeTolma.
Before we get ready to wrap this up this evening, I just want to make sure I got some information recorded correctly. Bob Hassinger wanted to talk about closed captioning for YouTube channel.
No,
general.
for all of our services.
Okay, and I'm assuming you're also talking about the tightrope server system.
What?
The tightrope server system?
That's part of the equation.
Okay, all right. So I'll investigate that. I think that would require a major upgrade if I remember correctly.
And what I'll do is I'll make sure, excuse me, I'll make sure that that's on the agenda.
And
I'm
then,
not sure that it's entirely a question of hardware upgrade. I think it's how does stuff get typed in thing. And the guy that is it Witz, whatever, the guy that sold us some of the gear years ago, Daniel. I've noticed he went off into a closed captioning for access thing, and I don't know whether he's still in it or not, but he comes to mind as someone who might have some input.
okay, and then your other question about the Macs.
Yeah.
The reason why the downloading of Zoom meetings to the Macs is no longer an issue, because I have access to all of the accounts and we process the video directly from the Zoom account. So it goes just like that. So.
Yeah, but I was thinking of when we're rendering, when we're not doing Zoom, when we're doing actual television,
Yeah, we're not having any rendering issues based on the Mac. So we're good.
well,
Bob DeTolma, are you going to notify Joanne
Yes,
about the vote?
yes. I received a text message just prior to the start of the meeting.
Okay.
you want the Corson Wyman information sent to
Bob DeTolma.
Bob DeTome. Okay, Bob D.
Thank you. All right, is everyone else good? except for Lisa, who's fantastic.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Roll call, Bob Berger.
Aye.
Bob Berger, aye. Bob DeToma.
Aye.
Bob DeToma, aye. Jim Gallagher is aye. Bob Hassinger.
Aye.
Bob Hassinger, aye. Jack Kelly.
Aye.
Jack Kelly, aye. Lisa Kelly.
Aye.
Lisa Kelly, aye. The meeting is adjourned.